Hi, it's Keith Peterson again from the Eardley T. Peterson Company in Westfield, New Jersey. Sebo is a German vacuum manufacturer. That's all they do is make vacuum cleaners. So this is their top-of-the-line machine. This is one of the finest canister vacuums we've ever had in this industry. This is a D4 series. It is able to be purchased without a motorized brush. We only bring it in with a motorized brush. Someone is buying a top-of-the-line machine. Typically, they have enough carpet to warrant using a motorized brush in that carpet system. The vacuum is relatively lightweight. There's a little more bulk to it, as can be seen, than the K2 and K3 series, which are very popular. But of course, on a properly engineered canister vacuum, the machine is on the carpet or on the floor. Any additional pound or two is relatively meaningless because it's on the floor. So we've got large independent swivel casters, and there are rubber tires on these casters, the result of which the machine is extremely mobile and will never mar even a highly polished wood floor. The hose, in addition to that, has a considerable degree of mobility, so as the user is moving around, the canister is moving very nicely with them. On a good canister vacuum, it's fine to move the machine away if it's a little close, but the hose design allows a lot of mobility in and of itself. The hose configuration on this starts with an appropriate residential size, which is roughly 1.25 inches, and then the hose increases in dimension as it leads to the vacuum. This enhances the airflow and therefore the cleaning ability of the machine, but it keeps it at a very nice usable size where the user is operating whatever tool he's using. This is a full swivel, which makes it very mobile, and this swivels back and forth. So if this is used for dusting or cleaning in any way, the mobility of this grip, and this is what we call a gas pump grip, the mobility, the ease of use here makes it very simple to clean around cushions or do dusting without getting hung up on the hose. It's important when a hose attaches to a vacuum that the hose locks in securely, not only for the pushing and the pulling, but there is an electrical plug here and there's an electrical socket on the vacuum. The electricity from the main vacuum has to be conducted through the hose, down through the wand, and enable the motor on the motorized brush to activate. Those connections have to lock together very solidly. If they don't, the movement, the push, the pull, the vacuuming process will eventually cause these connections in their movement to start to electrically short each other out. And we have people routinely coming in here with vacuums made overseas in Asia. They're only a few years old. The motorized brush is no longer working properly because the connections on the hose and the wand are already starting to short out. So when this locks in, this socket is rigid, this plug is rigid, and this makes a solid connection. The same type of design takes place when the wand is connected to the end of the hose. There's a big button, there's a deep notch. This plug is rigid, the socket is rigid, and when this slips together, it makes a solid connection. There's no movement when this is being used in vacuuming, but it's also very easy to take apart. The exact same design is present at the bottom of the wand where it connects into the power tool. Rigid socket and plug, and a big deep notch connecting by this button to the neck of the machine. The quietness of a machine is an indicator typically of the quality, and this wand, as you can see, is telescopic. The machines that Sebo makes are extremely quiet, German engineering, very smooth, very effective vacuuming action, very powerful machines. but very, very quiet. And of course, typically a canister vacuum of any size has a motorized brush on it for carpet use, and it embodies an automatic cord rewind system. Sebo has one of the longest cords in the business for a cord reel. I still haven't come to the edge of the cord. This is the button that turns the machine on, the switch, and then the power is controlled very nicely by a switch system at the end of the hose. So while we recommend full power for doing rugs, bare floors, things like that, for dusting, for upholstery, for other types of cleaning, it's usually necessary to have to reduce the cleaning efficiency down to accommodate that type of cleaning. Kind of a cool blue light that travels around here as the power increases. The speed of the light increases. Now when I plug this into the motorized brush, the brush itself will not actually turn on until the handle is lowered. This is a design feature that Sebo has on most of their canister vacuums. The thinking is that if the brush is running and we put it upright, we're going to do something. We're going to dust, we're going to do some upholstery cleaning, we're going to do something else. It's going to take a second or two to do that. We don't want the brush spinning in one spot. When we're cleaning carpet and go to a bare floor, there's a switch at my fingertips. This enables me to shut the brush down so I can proceed to the bare floor. The brush head has rubber tires underneath. Again, this can be used on even a polished wood floor. It will not leave any marks. The best way to clean a floor surface, wood, tile, linoleum, is of course to use a bristled bare floor brush. That tool enables, by snapping this onto here, proper cleaning of any bare floor surface. The bristles sweep the cracks and crevices. It has a nice open intake, little rubber rollers on the bottom. It will not mark again, even if you push with undue force. When we clean our carpet, this brush of course should be revolving, which it is, and the brushing action on this machine is one of the very best in the business. Sebo makes, as we've said, commercial uprights. The brushing action is not only well delivered, it's not overly aggressive, it will not harm a surface. And in connection with that, there is a dial here, and this enables us to raise and lower the adjustment on the brush head to get it exactly right for any particular type of carpet. So most vacuums that have revolving brushes use belts that are rubber and they stretch, they need replacement. Eventually, if you don't replace it, it will come apart and the brush will stop rotating. Machines of caliber like this use a cogged belt system. This is a reinforced belt with teeth. The teeth are encountering a gear on the motorized brush itself and the motor. It spins the brush at a constant RPM, but if something is jammed, you pick up a t-shirt or something under the bed, once the machine head encounters that, it immediately shuts down. So the belt is protected. The end result is you will probably never replace a belt on one of these vacuums. But in the use of it, the brush spins at a constant speed the whole time. So that's extremely nice. This extended lip enables cleaning around table and chair legs so that you don't have to shift the chair. It's not a rectangular head. It has an extended piece, and that will enable cleaning around tables and chairs. They have an extremely nice feature here, which is brought over from their upright line. A spinning brush picks up hairs and threads as it revolves. And the difficulty is the hairs and threads will work their way into the ends of the brush. It'll stiffen up the brush action, and you'll wind up causing heat and having problems with the housing and the brush. So recognizing this issue, Sebo has designed a very nice feature to enable cleaning at any point without the use of tools. You don't have to take a brush head apart. Right where my thumb is resting, it says press. I press that. the end cap swivels and removes, and the brush itself, with half a turn, simply releases and slips right out of this housing. It makes it an extremely simple process to get the ends of the brush as well as the body of the brush completely clean. I tell my customers, if you keep your brush clean, you'll head off brush problems, housing problems. Just do it. It's easy to do. The belt won't need replacement. It will open up the life expectancy of the nozzle head. So one of the things that Sebo incorporates in their commercial equipment is migrating over to their residential machines. There's a little clean out port here. So if someone picks up a wad of paper or something that doesn't want to go through the housing, the channels, that can be removed and taken care of very nicely. When it's time to empty the main vacuum, we've got, again, to reiterate, a sealed system here so that all the housings and component parts are engineered to airtight levels. The result of that is you can't have emissions coming out of the vacuum itself. The vacuum the particles coming into the vacuum are coming through a contained process. Where the air finally leaves, it has to leave somewhere. They put the appropriate filter, and the end result is you get air that's cleaned down to very healthy sizes, down to micron sizes. So we'll turn this off. I'll remove the hose. I squeeze 2 clips, the hose comes out. There is a latch here. I raise the latch. We're into the bag compartment. All better vacuums use bags because the first mechanism to capture particles is the bag. And if a machine is bagless, the interior of the vacuum, the internals, the motor, the electronics are assailed with fine particulate because the filtration system with the airflow is unable to contain those very tiny particles. So the machines just, not only is it dirty to empty, they don't last as long. So you've got full filtration here. This bag is engineered with a cap that folds over and seals. So you can remove the bag and simply throw it in the kitchen trash. You don't have to do something outside in the garbage. This is a micron bag, a micron material. The bag is designed to hold particles down to very tiny sizes on its own. Directly after the bag is a secondary filter. And then to ensure the exhaust air is completely clean, there is a final filter. And this filter here is a 3M Filtrete filter. It's a hospital grade filter. It's after the motor, so as the air exhausts back into the environment, you've got a final filter to capture any residual particles. This ensures the air is completely clean. So in summation, this is one beautifully engineered piece of equipment. This is one of the finest canister vacuums for residential use we've ever had in this industry. Sebo makes exemplary equipment. Their uprights, their canisters, everything is just flawless in its engineering and construction. And our customers come back and tell us, I love this vacuum, it's the best I've ever had, which they should say. That would apply to any first quality product. Vacuums of this caliber typically should last 15, 20 years or more. Many vacuums today are being thrown away within a few years. They're made in Asia, the quality is not there. I should add one last bit of information, which is the exhaust air comes out through this bumper system. It's very soft, it's a fabric material, and I can run my fingers down here and feel a myriad of tiny holes. So when the air exhausts the vacuum, it comes out through the bumper. It's called an air cushion. And if you hit the wall, the molding, hit the furniture legs, you will not leave any marks. So everything on this machine is what it should be to constitute a proper vacuum. And thank you so much for watching. You can reach us at etpeterson.com or call us at 908-232-5723. Thanks.